So today on the rack we have a 1986 911 3.2 Carrera that is going to get a complete AC system refit. We're going to change all the hoses out to the barrier hoses. It has original hoses. Also on this car, the owner reported a squeak coming from his blower fan for the AC the last time it ran. So we're going to pull the evaporator housing out of the smuggler's box, disassemble, get in there, take a look at the evaporator fan, see what condition it's in, either see if we can lube it or maybe replace, upgrade. There are some better fans and better evaporators out there today. So just taking an overall look over the car just to get a sense of where it stands. We got some large dents from lifting. So when you're lifting these, if you can, over here is the spot where it's strongest. We got similar ones up front. We're a little limited on the left because of the AC lines. So if you move this one right here, you can see how we're on the part seam. That's obviously the strongest part. And then one of the other issues that we see under here, I'm just gonna swing the steering, which noggin. So what we're looking at here is, this is a turbo tie rod. This is a non-turbo tie rod boot. When you put these things on, there's a different boot that goes onto here. So this is our actual steering joint in here that is full of dirt. So this, normally there's a plate that this bellows attaches to. Normally what you do is you take that plate off. There's a spacer that you screw in when you screw these in, and then use the later style boot. So that's something that's going to have to be done eventually. Otherwise, those new inner tie rod bushings are going to wear out. Alarm wires damaged. This is the horn for the alarm, factory burglar alarm. And then we just got more clamps to undo for the AC. And get a better view of our lovely misinstalled turbo tie rods from this with the plate off. I wouldn't get that close, just in case. Like a big fart. Just old.
A lot of lines. You've got to catch every O-ring so it doesn't get trapped.
Just want to get them out now while I remember if I don't see them on the hose.
Yeah, new video.
Look at how squished that is.
Normally they're round?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty squished. Here's our broken clamp. Through with the pipes. Bit.
The vacuum hose.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Goes to the evap tank.
Oh, you just need it out of your way.
So I couldn't get to the... Oh.
Is the canister going to come out?
Dry bottle, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not replacing it, are you?
Yeah. Oh. Never reuse them.
Crunchies.
couple of rocks and crap back in here. There's really nothing to see right now.
Yeah, but I can see that you're coming out of here. Like the whole thing comes out. Why is the whole thing got to come out?
To get to, I stated all that in the...
Oh, the
intro.
hoses. The hoses are under there.
Yeah.
The noise.
To get to the evaporator fan. Okay, going out. Okay, so we got all the lines out and on the ground. And that's the easy part of the job. And now I gotta clean up the mess. This is one of the messiest jobs you can do on these cars. It's not a fun experience. Some foam and some AC legging, new tube, connector adapters. Much better. So I'm just cleaning our evaporator housing, and we can see here that there's been some leakage out of this evaporator. We'll look at the evaporator in a minute. It's got a lot of corrosion on the pipes at where they've been soldered into the housing, and we've got a new style evaporator to go in here. But all of this is grease, probably AC oil if it's been weeping and it been a slow leak over time. Okay, here's our old evaporator. Get our evaporator fan out of the way, and this is what we are replacing it with. This one is a serpentine style. It has a little better heat transfer efficiency, doesn't have the same tube arrangement. A big problem with our evaporator on this one is we've got a number of pipes that are showing a lot of corrosion, and this is a soldered connection where they've welded this pipe to connect these tubes. Also on the bottom side, we've got a lot of that oil that indicates a possibility that it's been leaking, and this is like AC oil that's coming out of it. When we replace the evaporator, the new one is coming with a new expansion valve, which is good, saves us a few dollars. Not a cheap option, but definitely a very nice unit. So one of the things that we were looking at was a customer complaint on low speed. We were getting a squeak out of our fan. The biggest problem is usually this bushing down in here. We don't have any excessive movement. It is showing some signs of corrosion. And what happens with these fans is they suffer the same fate as the evaporators. There's a lot of moisture in this area from the AC system. That moisture tends to get up in here and corrode surfaces. So what we're doing right now is we're just working some lubricant into that upper bushing. I got to be careful because the lubricant I use is not electrically conductive, so I don't want to actually get it on the motor and up into the brush area. But I can already feel the difference just spinning it, and then we'll hook it up electrically and kind of play with it. Okay, so I'm just going to hook the thing up. Right now we're running at 7 amps, and I'm on my current limit. Turn the available amps down. It's mimicking when we change the speed on our AC system. So right now that would be equivalent to low. I'm not getting any squeaking or any nasty sounds. So I'm going to go ahead and turn our amperage back up. And there's our AC fan running pretty close to full speed. Not getting any noises. We're just going to go ahead and put our plate back on, and it's ready to start assembling the evaporator housing. One of the downsides with this is to change this part. The whole evaporator housing has to come out again, so it's in a tight spot down inside the smuggler's box, and it also means degassing the AC, so pulling all the gas out. We do have connections right here for our evaporator that need to be disconnected, pulled out, then you got to vacuum and recharge the whole system. So not an easy thing to change if there's a problem in there. Well, the original one had a foam gasket that just sat over there. They've added that metal pipe, which isn't the worst of things, so I'm just using the metal pipe as well. Moisture and insulation, because we want to seal the hole in the evaporator box for one.
Oh, where the sensor goes in?
Well, this is where this is the expansion valve, and this is where it's all the cooling is taking place. So we don't want to have any air leaks. We want to force the air through our evaporator. Okay, so I got all of my hoses back in, my evaporators back in. Just got the system under a vacuum right now, and we're gonna let it sit. We're sitting right around 27 or so inches, which is about the best we can pull here because we're at a much higher altitude than most shops. So now just gonna let it sit under a vacuum, make sure we don't have any leaks before we go ahead and recharge it. That, and I'm still waiting for a new front condenser blower fan, so I don't really want to go ahead and fill it up full of gas until I have that installed. Okay, so I have the housing for the front blower motor pulled apart, and we have the original front blower that has melted down. And so what usually happens with these is the bushings will get a lot of corrosion because they're really close to the battery. As you can tell by the one clip, this is the bottom clip. It was full of battery corrosion. What happens is this loads up the motor shaft, and then you end up with stuff like this where it melts the brush assembly, which is plastic because it's drawing more amps, and you end up with a motor that is seized up and not working. So we have a new motor. Now these used to be really inexpensive and easy to get. Right now in 2025, it's a ton of money. If you got to buy the whole housing, you're looking at even more money. So you want to kind of, not a lot you can really do about it. I mean, short of pulling these out and lubing the bushings to keep them going, would be about the only thing you could maybe do to prevent this. But who wants to pull a motor out every year and pull it apart to lube it? So we're going to get it back together. This is the last part of our AC system. We've been under a vacuum now for quite a while. It's holding really well, so we're going to charge it up, do our final leak checks, and get the car ready to deliver. So we abide by the Reagan policy here, trust but verify. First time I put the motor in, couldn't get it to power up when I powered it up. And what the problem was is where the wiring goes down through. This motor is a no-name one. It's nothing, no brand stamped on it, which is okay. I mean, it still looks reasonable, but the little plastic piece that holds the wire broke immediately for the positive wire, so I had to heat shrink it to seal it up. And I think what was happening is it was pulling the brush away. So I pulled the fan off because it came with the fan already attached on this one, and I know where it goes back on based on where the markings were. And what I did is rearranged everything in there, lined it up, and now when I power it up, we've got full speed, everything's running, and we're only drawing about a half an amp. So can't always guarantee that stuff is going to work, so you always want to test it before you go ahead and put it all back together. Okay, so that wraps it up for our 86 911 Carrera. This is a pretty common job. It's not a fun job. It's messy. Doing it without a rack would be challenging as well. But everything turned out nice, and it's nice and cold.